left off, I think, at 29.
Let's recap 28. So it says, listen to the fugitives and the refugees from America declaring in Zion how Yah, our all-powerful, has taken vengeance for his temple. You know, the Romans destroyed his temple, and you can research circular history and tell you exactly who destroyed the temple and when. It was destroyed by the Romans in 70 A.D. Verse 29. Summon the archers against America, all those who draw the bow. Encamp all around her. Let no one escape. Repay her for her deeds. Do to her as she has done. For she has defied Yah, the unique one of Yasharal. Therefore, her young men will fall in her streets. All her soldiers will be silent in that day, declares Yah. See, I'm against you, O arrogant one, declares the all-powerful, Yah, the Almighty. For your day has come, the time for you to be punished. The arrogant one will stumble and fall, and no one will help her up. I will kindle a fire in her town that will consume all who are around her. This is what Yah, the Almighty, says. The people of Yasharal are oppressed, and the people of Yaquata as well. Yeah, we oppressed. All their captives hold them fast, refusing to let us go. They don't want to let us go because you know what? If y'all's people is not in America, America would have been destroyed a long time ago. So they know we got to keep them here. Why you think the prices of them passports went up so fast when people started talking about getting us out of here? Because they know we weren't going to be able to afford it. We can't afford to get no passport and leave us out of here. So they do what they do to keep us here. Verse 34. Yet their Redeemer is strong. Yah Almighty is his name. He will vigorously defend their cause, so that he may bring rest to their land, but unrest to all those who live in America. A sword is against the Americans, declares Yah, against those who live in America, and against her officials and her wise men. A sword is against her false prophets. So now you get into your governors, your preachers, your politicians, your so-called
Black leaders.
right, all of them. So he's saying the sword. I'm gonna kill all of them. All of them gonna get killed. He says, okay, let me back it back up to 36. A sword is against her false prophets. They will become fools. A sword is against her warriors. They will be filled with terror.
Warriors being whom?
Her soldiers.
Okay.
A sword is against her horses and her chariots, all her military weaponry, all that technology. He said a sword is against her chariots or horses. Well, we know horses are things that you ride on. And all her foreigners in her ranks. So her whole army gonna be destroyed.
Wait. And it talks about the foreigners and her ranks.
Right.
Talk about that. The foreigners. Talk about the
The,
foreigners.
the foreigners in her rank, meaning all those foreign people that have come to America and become American citizens, they have joined her military, they're gonna be destroyed too.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying. Even the foreigners in her ranks gonna be destroyed. Okay, let me recap 37. A sword is against her horses and her chariots, and all the foreigners in her ranks. They will become women. A sword is against her treasures. They will be plundered. I mean, they gonna rip off. They gonna rip off all that gold they got in that vault in New York, that silver, all that stuff. That stuff gonna be stolen.
Ain't no gold in the vault. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Well, the thing is, it's there, but it don't belong to America.
I didn't even think they had any gold. I thought they sold it
Yeah,
all. But
yeah, no, they got it, but it don't belong to them.
let me ask you a question. This, and then we talked about this in the past, where it's talking about it says they will become women. Remember I taught you about how there were some things that were sexist uh, about this book, and within it, that kind of touches on it. What does it mean they will become women?
Mean they're gonna become soft. Warriors, they're gonna be scared. They're gonna be terrified like women. They ain't gonna have all that that hoorah and all that stuff. They're gonna be weak like women. That's what it says.
Why women got to be weak?
They're gonna become like women. It's just a scenario because when you think about soldiers are usually men. The majority of soldiers are on battlefields are usually men. But he said they're gonna lose heart.
Okay. All right, so we're going past that. 38.
A drought is on her waters, they will be dried up. For it is the land of idols that will go mad with terror. So desert creatures and hyenas will live here, and there the owl will dwell. It will never again be inhabited or lived in from generation to generation. See, when he hit it this one time, that's it. Ain't gonna be no more America. It's done. Light out party's over. Last call for drink because it's done. Ain't gonna be no more. Verse 40. As Yah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah along with her neighboring towns, declares Yah, so no one will live there, no man will dwell in it. Look, an army is coming from the north. He said, look now, a great nation and many kings are being stirred up from the ends of the earth. Now, if we were talking about ancient Babylon is just south. That wouldn't be from the ends of the earth. That's just at your foot. So we know he wasn't talking about ancient Babylon. He's talking about this new Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. He says, verse 42, they are armed with bow and spear. They are cruel and without mercy. They sound like the roaring sea as they ride on their horses. They come like men in battle formation to attack you, O daughter of the Aryans. The king of America has heard report about them, and his hands hang limp. He done got scared. Anguish has gripped him, pain like that of a woman in labor, like a lion coming up from the Jordan thicket. Now, if you look at your map, Jordan is in the Middle East, right?
Right.
He says, like a lion coming up from the Jordan thicket, meaning that's where that nation is coming from, out of the east. That's where they're coming from.
What's a thicket?
Thicket is like high grass. Where the lion, like when you're out in the jungle, the high grass.
Okay, so this is basically saying they're coming up from where Jordan is.
The Jordan thicket. Exactly. Another symbolism.
Okay.
Verse 44, recap. Like a lion coming up from the Jordan thicket to a rich pasture land, I will chase America from its land in an instant. Who is this chosen one I will appoint for this? Who is like me? And who can challenge me? And what shepherd can stand against me? Therefore, hear what Yah has planned against America, what he has purposed against the land of the Aryans. The young of the flock will be dragged away. He will completely destroy their pasture because of them. At the sound of America's capture, the earth will tremble. Its cry will resound among the nations. Now he's going to name to you in the next chapter these nations, the nation who he says that he's sending. Verse 51.
So now let's talk about this real quick before we
okay.
And I'll probably catch on it some. Is this part where we started talking about the nations that are named in the Bible that will come against Babylon?
Yep. where he over like in 51 and verse 11.
Mhm.
He says, "I will stir up the kings of the Medes." I'm in chapter 51, and then I just skipped over because you brought up the names of those nations to verse 11,
All right, go ahead.
and where he says, "I will stir up the kings of the Medes," because his purpose is to destroy America. Yah will take vengeance for his temple. Lift up a banner against the walls of America. Reinforce the guard, station the watchman, prepare an ambush. Yah will carry out his purpose, his decree against the people of America. You who live by many waters. Now, go back to ancient Babylon. It's not surrounded by many waters.
Right.
If you look at the map, you got the, hold on, let me just walk over here and check out the map right quick. Hold on for a second. You have the Red Sea, and you have the Persian Gulf. And then, of course, you got the Arabian Sea. But as for America, you got the North, and those are just little bodies of water. America is surrounded by the Pacific, the Atlantic. Those are large bodies of water that she is surrounded by. Unlike these little, basically what you would call them, rivers.
Yeah, they're rivers, weren't they?
Yeah, rivers. And those are not large bodies of water. The last part of verse 12.
You who live by many waters and are rich in treasures, your end has come.
Right. And then if we flip over to Revelation, let's just pause there. Let's pick this up in Revelation.
All right, Revelations 18.
Okay, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. And after we finish in Jeremiah, we're going to go to Jeremiah 47.
Okay.
And then a lot of things that I'm getting ready to read out of Revelation is going to tie directly into Jeremiah 47.
Okay. All right, so we're at
So
18.
Revelation 18 and Jeremiah 47 hand in hand.
Okay.
But okay, let me pick it up in Revelation 18.
Okay.
And it says, "And after these things, I saw a messenger coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was illuminated with his majesty."
Okay, good. Before you go,
Uh-huh.
who is this speaking, and who is he? Who is he? Who is he speaking, and what is he basically doing, talking about?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is John. John is the one who wrote the book of Revelation, and he's sharing with us another vision that he is having of the end times, this time that we're living in right now. So during the ancient times, John was one who could see into the future.
Okay.
And what he was told, since he was exiled to this island, he wrote down these things.
Okay.
So what he's doing, he's writing down the vision that God has given him to warn us about what's to come in the future.
Okay.
So actually, John is actually at his time, he's actually in our time where we are right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So Revelation 18, it says, "And after these things I saw another messenger coming down from the heaven, having great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his majesty. And he cried out with a mighty voice, saying, Fallen, fallen is America the Great, and she has become a dwelling place of demons, and a prison of every unclean spirit, and a prison of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her passion, or her fornication, of her." Let me just recap this and not expound so much. Verse 3 again. "For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her passion, of her immorality. And the kings of the earth have committed acts of immorality with her. And the merchants of the earth have become rich by the wealth of her sensuality. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you may not participate in her sin, and that you may not receive of her plagues. Going back to Jeremiah, where Yah says, my people flee out of her, for at least you be destroyed. So we see the same thing right here. He's saying, come out of her, my people, lest you receive of her plague. Verse 5. For her sins have piled up as high as the heavens, and the all-powerful has remembered her iniquity. Pay her back even as she has paid. Pay her back as she has paid, and give back to her double according to her deeds. In the cup which she has mixed twice as much for her. To the degree that she glorified herself and lived sensuously, luxuriously, all expensive, to the same degree give to her torment and mourning. For she says in her heart, I sit as a queen and am not a widow and will never see mourning. This is that arrogance. Verse 8. For this reason, in one day, her plague will come, pestilence and mourning and famine, and she will be burned with fire. For Yah, the all-powerful who judges her, is strong. And the kings of the earth who committed acts of immorality and lived luxuriously with her will weep and lament over her when they see the smoke of her burning, and standing at a distance because of the fear of her torment, saying, Woe, woe, the great city, America, the strong city, for in 1 hour her judgment has come. And the merchants of the earth weep and mourn over her, because no one buys their cargo anymore.
And that's what we are right now.
Exactly. But, he gonna spell it out. He gonna spell it all out. Hold on. Verse 12. Cargo of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and every kind of provision, wood and every article of ivory and every article made from very costly wood and bronze and iron and marble and cinnamon and spices and incense and perfume, frankincense, wine, oil, flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, cargo of horses and chariots. Chariots are your cars, and slaves and human lives. And the fruit you long for has gone from you. All things that were luxurious and splendid have passed from you, and men will no longer find them. And the merchants of these things who became rich from her will stand at a distance because of the fear of her torment, weeping and mourning, saying, Woe, woe, the great city, she who was clothed, check this out, in fine linen. What color is linen?
White? I
Purple.
don't know.
You got it right. He gives you another symbol of her color. Right here in verse 16. He says, Woe, 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 the great city who was clothed in fine linen, white and purple, which is your blue, because that's all blue is purple, and scarlet, which is your red.
Wow.
There you got it. There you red, white, and blue. And check it out now. He didn't leave out the stars and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. The pearls are your stars.
Yeah, it says glittering with gold and precious. Okay, so check this out. Has there ever been any other time in history where a country that manufactured all these items, suddenly they're not accepting them nor are they putting them out. Has
Nope.
anything else like this in history ever happened is what I'm asking.
Nope.
because
Nope.
because here I mean, when you talk about this is some serious type commerce. When you look at this, that's something that's never happened, where a country has produced and manufactured and traded this many goods, and then all of a sudden it's going to stop. And so
Nope.
that's why I'm looking
That's
at this
it.
saying this is something that has not happened yet, and it's
No, it
obvious.
hasn't.
And so when we go over here, it actually describes, you're saying, America.
Yeah, right here in verse 16. Whose colors is red, white, and blue? Their state flag is the one that's gilded with that gold around it, the flag that you always see behind the president.
Right.
That's the one that's gilded with the gold. It gives you the symbolism right here in verse 16.
Read it again.
Define, huh?
I said, read it again. Go ahead.
It says, saying, woe, woe, the great city, she who was clothed in fine linen, which is white, and purple, blue, and scarlet, which is your red, and adorned with gold, there's your gold fringes around your state flag, and with precious stones and pearls. Your pearl symbolism of your white stars. Same difference. There's your red, white, and blue right there. Verse 17, for in 1 hour such great wealth has been laid waste. Just like y'all said, in 1 hour, in a single day, I'm going to destroy this whole house. It ain't going to take 3-4 years of battling with her. 1 hour and one single day. Recap, verse 17. For in 1 hour such great wealth has been laid waste, and every shipmaster and every passenger and sailor, and as many as made their living by the sea, stood at a distance and were crying out as they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like this great city? What place is as great as America? Verse 19, and they threw dust on their heads, and they were crying out, weeping and mourning, saying, woe, woe, the great city in which all who had ships at sea became rich by her wealth. For in 1 hour she has been laid waste. Rejoice over her, O you heaven, and you righteous ones and apostles and prophets, because Yah has pronounced judgment for you against her.
What is the purpose of the sprinkling of the dust over their heads?
That's just the way that the people in ancient times used to show how mournful they were in mourning, just by picking up dust and covering themselves, putting it on the head, like you just in so much grief.
Okay, I understand.
So it's an outward expression. Okay, verse 21. And a strong messenger took up a stone like a great millstone. Now check this out. They've been talking about this great millstone that's already sitting up there in space. You can Google it. This is that millstone that's sitting up there in space that they've been talking about. They're trying to launch some rockets to land on it to blow it up. It's no coincidence. And they keep talking about the word, the Bible is false. It's a lie. It's not true. There's no God. Blah, this and that. Why are you trying to destroy that big old hailstone up there then? So it's sitting right up there in space.
It says, then a mighty angel picked up a boulder. Is that what you're talking about? In the size of a large millstone, and threw it into the sea and the land, and said, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm missing that.
Well, in my book it says a great millstone, but it's a boulder. That big old rock that's floating up there in space. It's up there for the purpose for this to be fulfilled.
So it's supposed to land. It's supposed to land here?
Yeah, it's going to land in the ocean. But see, what America's been talking about, how they can land a rocket on it to blow it up, because they're afraid that it might strike the United States. But no, it's going to land in the ocean, but that's what's going to cause that big tidal wave because what we're going to read later, he says, she's going to be flooded. This land is going to be flooded out.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So there's a boulder up there that we didn't know about.
Oh, we know about it. If
I
you
ain't talking
watch
about
it.
you. I'm talking about the
Oh, okay.
vast majority of the public doesn't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
We don't know about this boulder that's sitting out there.
No, don't know about the boulder and don't know the relevancy of that boulder and what it says right here in Scripture. That
So,
boulder's sitting up there for a reason.
that boulder. See, this is what amazes me about this is because again, all of this, this book it just kind of brings us up. It's on point with everything that's going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so you got this boulder that's sitting out there, and let's read on because it talks about what it's supposed to do. Now, at what point is this supposed to happen? I mean, is this like after America's destroyed, or?
No, because it symbolizes it's going to just be thrown down in an instant without anybody even thinking about it. You know how when somebody's been messing with you all your life and then they just keep on walking around like, oh, well, I ain't going to bother them no more because they ain't going to do nothing. I've been bothering them for about 30 years, 10 years, 5 years. Let's just break it down to 5. And then all of a sudden one day, that same bully that has been bullying you for the last 5 years of your life, they just walk past you. And thinking, well, I don't have to say nothing to them because I've been doing this for 5 years and I know they're a coward, they're a pushover, so I ain't got to bother them. But that one day that they say, I'm not going to bother them, I'm just going to go on about my business, and that same day when they walk past you and you go right up behind them and slap the crap out of them and they fall to the ground on a violent impulse, they didn't even see it coming. That's what the Scripture is talking about right there. Just one day out of the blue, the messenger just gonna hurl that big old stone straight to the earth.
And it's gonna hit.
And that symbolizes the destruction of America. He says on a violent impulse. That's the same way it's gonna happen with America. One day out of the blue, it's just gonna happen.
Okay, so check this out. With such violence, okay, go ahead and start reading.
Verse 21. Well, hold on. Let me go back. Okay.
Well, yeah, that was it, 21.
Okay, 21. It says, and a strong messenger took up a stone like a great boulder. I'll say boulder because that was in your book.
Now here it says angel.
Well, we don't like to use that word angel because that's not what they're called. They're actually messengers who do the bidding.
Okay.
They're messengers of wind, fire, hail, snow.
Okay.
They're all messengers. We're considered messengers. We're messengers telling people the word of Yah.
Okay.
So that's what we are. Basically, a messenger is a servant.
Okay.
That's what they are. Not that angel stuff that folks in that religious sect come with.
Okay.
Okay. Verse 21. And a strong messenger took up a stone like a great boulder and threw it into the sea, saying, thus would America, the great city, be thrown down with violence and will not be found any longer. And the sound of the harpists and musicians and the flute players and the trumpets will no more be heard in you any longer. Now everybody getting up out of here. So now first the musician. Party's over. Ain't no more music playing.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You said it will be thrown down with great violence, and the city of Babylon will be thrown down. What is okay? So once it drops, it's supposed to drown America, or is it what is it? What does it say? What part goes down, or what it covers, or?
No, it just falls into the ocean, like it says. But it's going to cause a great tsunami. Something that large falling into the ocean, it's going to set off a tsunami, which will go back to what Yah says. She's going to become a swamp land. The waters are going to come up and cover her land. And they even got this depicted on pillars at Wall Street, on some columns in New York, how America is flooded and she can't do any more business, and how people are bartering, doing trade, bartering like they used to do back in the day for goods and stuff, because no more stock market. You ain't gonna be able to do business like that no more. So this goes hand in hand with even what they have depicted on some columns in New York.
Okay.
That this thing is actually gonna happen. So all these people up at the top, don't be fooled thinking that they don't believe in this script.
They know. They know.
And they believe in this word. That's why they make movies. They didn't make that 2012 and showing America being destroyed just because they know it's coming. All these movies that they making and how they talking about war, battle for Los Angeles and all that stuff, they are telling you through the movies what is getting ready to happen, what they're planning for. That's why they got these hideout bunkers that they building, these secret locations where they can whisk the elite off when stuff jump off. These are things they know. They know it's coming. The only people that are not aware is the public.
So they read this book and they know what's going on.
Yeah.
So
the elite, the elite know. It's just the common people that don't know, because they think of this as religion. They don't think of this as
what it is.
Book. Right. It's a blueprint to what's getting ready to go down. You have to realize this word is living. It's alive. It's going to perform everything that the Creator Yah says it is to perform, because this is His word. This is He was telling our people. That's why He was telling us, come out from among the nations. Turn your back on them, because see what they trying to do. They trying to get you caught up. So they actually read scripture and go and make these movies and put it in the movies, and the people just go into the movies for entertainment. That's why their slogan is, if you put it in plain sight, that's how you keep it hid from the people.
Hide it in their face. Hide it in their face.
Put it right in their face, and there'll never be none the wiser. That's why, with all the many distractions, they always want to keep you buying. They always want to keep you selling something. They always want to keep you feeling like you need something new. If you're not fulfilled, if you don't have this, you don't have that. They always want to keep you entertained with reality shows, sports. All this stuff is a distraction. And that's what y'all was telling us, come out of her. Be not deceived, because I'm going to destroy this land. Don't get caught up. Because the day coming, I'm not going to spare. I'm going to let my fury loose. And if you caught up in this nation, you're going to get paid. You're going to get dealt with. It's just that simple.
All right. So let's go on.
Okay, verse 22. And the sound of a harpist and the musicians and the flute players and the trumpeters will no more heard in you any longer. There goes your music. No craftsman of any craft will be found in you any longer. There go all your work. And the sound of the mill will not be heard in you any longer. So there you were. And the light of a lamp, Statue of Liberty, will not shine in you any longer. And the voice of the bridegroom, meaning your preachers, and the voice of the bride, which is us, who telling people the truth, will no longer be heard in you any longer. For the merchants were the great men of the earth, because all the nations were deceived by your sorcerers, trying to get everybody to gravitate to democracy.
Okay.
Check this out. Run your country like mine, and you'll be able to profit from the people like I do.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Right here it says bridegroom, the voice of the bridegroom and bride. Where did you get those definitions? How did we become the bride, the people who speaking the truth, and then the bridegroom are the pastors?
Okay, let me take that back, because the bridegroom is the Messiah. He is the bridegroom. But I look at it as far as reading the script, ain't going to be no more of that. It's not going to be any more of that. But the bridegroom, the voice of the bridegroom is the Messiah. And the voice of the bride, of course, is his people, us.
Okay. All right. And 24.
Okay, excuse me for the error, too.
No
Um,
problem. We got it hooked up.
okay, and verse 24. And it says, and in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints or the righteous ones and all who have been slain on the earth. This right here, Revelation 18, is talking about America. Now, since we got that fresh in our mind, turn to Isaiah 47.